race fans.
Right, so Euro everybody, here I am, Brian Davis Races. I'm going to show you today how to clean your white cycling shoes because everyone knows you're not truly pro unless you're rocking the white cycling shoes. Cruising along this weekend, having a good day, and one of my riding buddies says, hey, your shoes are dirty. Day ruined. I'm destroyed. All I can think about is getting back home so I can fix this situation. He was right. It was a disaster. I'll show you how I fixed it. Unless you don't want to fix it. Now, the big race series is coming up next week. So, I was going to be out of town, but now it turns out I'll be in town. So let me pull this spider off of the shoes. Okay. So we definitely want to get white shoes before we go racing, right? Great. All right, so we're going to set this up in 3 stages. First, let's take a close look at what the shoes look like right now before we do anything. So this is the one, obviously, I hit with the Magic Eraser yesterday. I was able to get pretty good cleaning done. You know, behind these areas. And then... Okay, race fans, let's get into this. We're going to divide this up into 3 stages. That's what I learned through this process. So when I was doing my recording, the audio was a bit of a disaster, so I'm just doing the voiceover and chopping up the footage on my own. So I learned there's 3 key steps, and I debated the order of these, but I think I got them down to a way that makes sense. So step 1, we're going to do a pre-wash. So like I said a minute ago on the video, if you are in a hurry, just use a Magic Eraser. You'll get about 80% of the results in a couple of minutes, but you won't get that deep clean and won't get the laces clean if you have those, and it won't get the threads clean if you have white threads that sewed your shoes together. So just some soap and water and hydrogen peroxide, a toothbrush, scrubby brush, and just get to work to get the loose stuff off and get them relatively clean and work that solution into the fabric on the inside as well. Take the insoles out to do this process and get started. Alright, now step 2. This is really cool. We're going to make a baking soda paste. So it's a mix of mostly baking soda and a little tiny bit of water and maybe a glug or 2 of hydrogen peroxide. I also found a bleach pen in the hardware store. I think it's pretty useless, but I threw a little squirt of that gel bleach kind of mix into the bowl as well. And what you're looking for in that consistency is like kind of like an oatmeal. It's pretty thick. I guess, I mean, it's gritty, but it's kind of like a stiff yogurt, maybe a Greek yogurt kind of feel. So rub that all over the shoes and get it nice and soaked in, and then let it cake in the sun for 2 hours and just bake and bake and bake. This is like the hottest day Wisconsin ever had. So anyway, after those 2 hours, then you take the shoes and chip away the powder, and you'll get some amazing results from this process. So you might even want to think about quitting here, but I went for another wash afterwards to really make sure I got all the powder out of the shoe, inside, outside, all around. I wanted all the powder out. So you can see here it did an amazing job already, and really the job's done. I just want to get the powder off of the rest of the shoe. So I might hit it again, but I did do my mountain bike shoes, and you'll see a pretty dramatic difference in the mountain bike shoes as well on the paste. So then step 3, soak and dry. I just made a tub of all kinds of cleaning agents. So it was laundry detergent, and you could use dish soap too, it didn't really matter. Like I said, a little bit of bleach and a little bit more hydrogen peroxide, doesn't hurt, and then really rub that in again to the fabric. So I found that the fabric was the part that I struggled with the most, but it made the most impact when it came out clean. Now these are my mountain bike shoes. These are fully dirty, and you'll see pretty dramatic results. Now my tongue, I found when I was messing with all this cleaning that the tongue was kind of getting separated, so I sewed those together real quick, and this is the result after the baking soda paste sat for 2 hours. in the sun on the mountain bike shoes, you can see it just wicks away all that dirt. Now we're back to the road shoes. This is the result after soaking. I was going to leave them there all night, but I didn't see that it would change anything appreciably, so I took them out. I'll show you the results here in a second. Alright, the mountain bike shoes sat in the solution all night. The road bike shoes ended up only being in there a couple hours. So one key tip I learned was, or that I guess I figured out in advance, was to use a boot dryer to get these shoes remotely dry in a reasonable amount of time. So the road shoes were on the boot dryer all last night after soaking for about 4 hours, and they were perfectly rideable today. And the insoles dry out much faster than the shoes, so that was okay. The mountain bike shoes I had just pulled out in this little scene here, so they're currently spending the night on the boot dryer. And I tried some casual shoes up there on top. Not sure how those turned out just yet. So in any event, the road shoes turned out great. I am totally excited about the baking soda paste. It worked awesome. The shoes are like brand new. There is some cracking in the leather on the sides. That's just old shoes. So here's the boot dryer if you want to check that out. I don't know, they're like 40-50 bucks, but worth their weight in gold, especially if you ride all winter long. They're really, really handy in the winter. So I'd say the mountain bike shoes came up maybe a 30% improvement, and the road bike shoes had like a 80 to 90% improvement over where they were. So if you ride fast enough, you will never know that they're still a little cracked up and dirty. So there's you go. There's my tip for whitening up your shoes and going Euro. So if you like what I had to say today, give me that thumbie. Give me a comment. How do you clean your shoes? Please do subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. And if you don't like what I had to say today, bye-bye. So how many subscribers will I get again?
1 million.
And why are they going to subscribe?
Because I have the cute face.
Oh.
Master.